Okay, I think that we are on time, so we can start our today's session. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining this session with our guest Deeksha from Atlassian. I see that more and more people are joining, so we will start with a short introduction about this session, this course, and about us. After that, we move to our presentation and live demo, which we have for today. Okay, so for today, our topic is Operations Simplified in Jira Service Management. This is the mini series which we created to know more about making IT operations easier with some expert tips. And this is the part of Jira Service Management Summer Expedition. This is the event which will be held during the whole summer time. We have got a few sessions about advanced Jira Service Management features, and we start with this interesting topic about IT operations management. And today we start from part number 1, detect and mobilize alerts and on-call readiness. And as I said, our today speaker is Deeksha from Atlassian, a senior product manager. And I'm pretty sure that she will have got a great presentation and demo about this topic. So we can go to next slide. As I said, this is the mini series about Operations Simplified. We split this into 3 events. Today is first part, as I said, detect and mobilize. Next event, which will be also announced in the end of this presentation, it's part number 2 about resolve and restore. And the last part, part number 3, will be about prevent and protect. And we will have this session in August. And also we will have announcement about this event. Okay, about today's agenda. So we'll start with some short introduction, some theoretical info about prevent, detect, resolve lifecycle. And after that, we move to live demo, operations configurations for admins, also configurations for on-call responders, and it will be live demo, which will have also some quiz in the end. So I hope that you will actively participate in it. Also, if you have any questions, please put them on chat or in the Q&A section. We will reply on all these questions in the Q&A section, which will be in the end of our presentation. And of course, we will also talk about what's next after this presentation. Okay, so before we dive into this live demo, let's briefly walk through the prevent, detect, resolve lifecycle. This is a foundational approach in modern IT operations, and probably many of you know this lifecycle or even seen this lifecycle once at live. In this session, our focus is especially on the detect phase, where effective alert management makes all the difference. But in general, in this life cycle, we start with prevent. This is all about being proactive, setting up monitoring tools, defining some clear service ownership, and configuring systems to reduce some potential risks before they escalate. And we have got a lot of requests on our portal. The goal is to eliminate any no's, any mans, and prevent some incidents and, of course, escalations. After that, we move into the detect phase. And this is what we will focus today. So in this detect phase, we focus on alert management. So this is where your system surface alerts from multiple sources. and it's essential to make sure that right people are notified quickly and accurately. So we are able to react quickly and to solve this problem as soon as possible. We, of course, use Jira Service Management in this process. And with this tool, we can centralize these alerts and also route them based on priority, based on context, and it also helps us to reduce some alert problems. And thanks to this, our teams can react to what truly matters. And the last phase is resolving phase. And once alert is triggered and assigned, the clock starts ticking. In this phase is about mobilizing our response teams. Efficiently. So we have got on-call rotations, we have got some escalation policies and real-time collaboration tools, of course, again, using Jira Service Management. And so today we focus on detect stage, and we'll show you how you can use Jira Service Management to build a reliable and scalable alerting and on-call solution. So now let's go to live demo and to Deeksha part.
Thank you. I was just checking, Kate, if I am unmuted. I will kickstart the
We can hear you, so
slideshow again.
everything works.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for covering the focus area for today, which is the detect. I'm going to be covering firstly the operations configurations for admins. Before I kickstart that, I'm not able to see any of you guys, but I want to know how many of you already are team admins or Jira admins or major incident managers in your organization. Maybe you can drop that in the chat and say that you're an admin on JSM, because this next demo that we're going to show you is going to be critical for you to understand what are the best practices to set these up in your JSM instance as we speak. So essentially, the goal of every major incident manager or a Jira admin is to ensure that the alerts don't go unnoticed. Many of us in our organizations want to ensure that we are maintaining service continuity and we are maintaining our SLAs without any chaos. We don't want our on call engineers to wake up at 2 a.m. at night seeing that things and services have been disrupted. To avoid such cases, what I'm going to be demoing today are three pillars. The first pillar is integration context, which is the source of your alerts. What are the best practices to set up your monitoring tools? Then we'll be covering the alert configuration, where we'll be talking about once your event payloads are into the JSM system, how are we using policies to modify the alerts before they reach the on-call responders to ensure the right information is trickling down. We will also see alert configurations in the context of automation, where you as an on-call responder don't need to take any actions because your team admin or your Jira admin has set up these automation rules for you to triage your alerts. We'll also be looking at chat configurations to ensure that your on-call responders are able to get these notifications via the various chat tools that are used in your organization. With that, the third pillar that we will cover, that Kate also mentioned, which is to ensure that you are notifying the right people at the right time. We'll be discussing how team admins and even Jira admins can set up the right on-call schedules so that we're following a 24/7 rotation. None of the alerts go unnoticed. We're ensuring there is rotation fairness and the on-call engineers have complete context of the things that are happening. With this in mind, I will now switch over to a live demo. As and when I'm doing the demo, feel free to drop your queries in the chat so that we're able to answer them in the Q&A section. Okay, so this is your JSM instance that you have today. Many of you have already been onboarded onto the new navigation experience where all the key alerting and on-call configurations sit here in the operations navigation. And in your home page for on-call responders, we have on-call schedules and alert visible front and center for you to see when you log into JSM, what are the key information. Like right now, I can see I am on call and when my on-call is ending, and I'm also able to see the alert configurations. Now, if you're a Jira admin or an Ops Global admin, so this is a new role that we've introduced. What is a global Ops role? essentially, if you have any person in your organization who is just looking at managing operations, maybe your IT operations manager or your engineering managers who are just looking at alerting and on-call configurations for either your organization or for your domain, you don't want to give them a Jira product admin, right? But you want them to oversee your operations capabilities. For such personas, you can assign them a global ops admin role. And essentially, what they'll be able to see in the three ellipses dots that you see here, they'll be able to see general configuration, where they can only access operation configurations. They will not be able to access any system, product, project, or any other configurations. They will only be able to set operations configurations. Now, with that in mind, there are two sets of configurations that sit today in JSM. One is this that I have shown you, which is at a site level. This means any of the configurations that you do here apply to your JSM instance as a whole. However, operations also sits at a team level where we enable you to set up the on-call rotations, even specific team-based integrations for your teams. You must be having teams in your organizations that manage end-to-end services. So for those particular use cases, you can create an Atlassian team. When you create an Atlassian team, you will be able to see a way to enable operations for your team. By default, don't have these configurations enabled. You can enable them when you set them up from JSM. All you have to do is click on Get Started. You can select the team that you're currently in. You can select a team admin. Essentially, the team admin is the core persona who is responsible to do all the configurations. No other member will have access to do the configurations other than your team admin. You can click on Confirm. It will take a while to enable operations for your team. So let's wait till the team operations are launching. Once it is launched, you will see that you're able to see on-call integration, syncs, and many other configuration for your team. Now, this team is enabled to participate in on-call rotations, is able to set up their own monitoring integrations and do much more. So these are the two levels of configurations that sit today for operations. Now let's deep dive into the first pillar that we spoke about, which was integration, context, and configuration. I'm going to be referring to the site level configuration because you're able to even monitor and track team level configurations here. So integrations are your single source for alerts. JSM today offers more than 200 plus monitoring tool integrations within the product. They range from integrating within Atlassian products and also other products, maybe your chat tools, maybe your monitoring tools, and much more. Once you set up the integration, for example, I'll take the example of an email integration. You have the option to keep this as a global integration. What this means is this integration will not follow any of your team-based configurations because you're keeping this at a site level. In case product admins or even your ops global admins want to configure integrations for your multiple teams, you're able to do that very seamlessly from here. You can select the team that you want to enable this integration for, and it will reflect in their integration list view. I'll keep this configuration global for now. Essentially, the purpose of keeping an integration global is if there is a monitoring tool that is shared between teams. The idea is you set up these integrations at a global level based on the payload information that you're sharing to JSM. For example, your payload information has tags or your payload information has certain descriptions. Based on that, you can read the tags and description and route that alert to a particular team. I will delve into how that is also done. So this is an overview of the integration that gets created. You can see the steps to set up this integration. You can also see certain rules for processing the integration. For example, we have a create alert rule. What this essentially means is based on the event payload that is added, from the email, from the from, the address, the subject, you're able to pass these parameters onto the alert and set that up. So you can also directly set responders from here And we also have released the capability to add components. So you're now able to tag affected services in the incidents. If you have, for example, a payment service created in your JSM, you already know that there is a monitoring tool like Datadog that is sending certain event payloads for this service. You can directly map the payment service to this integration that ensures that when your alert gets generated, it is to a service. When you're creating an incident from the alert, this service parameter is passed on, so your on-call responder and your major incident manager has a complete history of which service is down and what is the impact. So you're able to complete the whole chain of information by doing the right configurations. Once you're ready with all the configurations and all the rules that you've processed, you can turn on the integration. Once the integration is turned on, it will start receiving the payloads that you send to this integration and reflect as alerts in JSM. Now, the next step we will cover is, I mentioned that if you have a global integration, you're able to seamlessly bypass and monitor and modify the alert as it's coming. The way to do that is global alert policies. All your admins will be able to see a section called policies. Now, what are policies? Policies are rules that you configure to ensure that before the alerts reach your on-call responders, you can easily modify these alerts. Now, how do you modify these alerts? You can set up policies. You can add certain alert conditions. Here I have a policy that says if the priority of the alert is P1, then what I'm asking the policy to do, I'm adding a tag called critical. Now, the modifications enable me to leverage these alerts in either automation rules or in team based or scheduling. So, how I would use this is, in a team schedule, I would say that if the alert has a tag critical, then loop in a critical responder team that is set up only to respond to critical alerts. So, if you have use cases where you want to modify the alert after it gets generated, you can use these global alert policies. That will be the first step that gets executed before passing down or trickling down to the team alert policies. You can also set up policies that trickle down to the next policies, because these are nothing but your if else condition. For example, right now I can set a policy that says uh, further enhancing P1 alerts, and I can have another filter that says if the tag contains critical, then by default I can add another responder. Let's say I'm using my demo team and I'm saying this is the team that I want to always add as a responder. I will turn on the policy and I will create. um, I had mentioned in the previous one that trickle down to the next policy. And in this policy, I had not enabled the ability to apply the next policy. That means I am telling the system to stop enhancing the policies once, stop enhancing the alert once this field has been and this condition has been met. So you can easily structure your policies based on your use case, and you can define till when you have to keep modifying the policies or the alerts, and when is the right time to stop and move on to team level policies if it applies. Now we've looked at alert policies. There are other maintenance policies as well. For example, you know that you're using Datadog as your monitoring tool. Datadog has sent out a notification that they will be having a server maintenance from 18th July 12 a.m. to 19th July 2 a.m. What essentially you will be doing, you know that you have an integration with Datadog and you don't want your on-call responders to be notified. What you can do is you can create a maintenance that says Datadog server downtime or update. You can custom based on what information you have been shared. You can do this for your time zone. And I will say that Datadog has given me 18th 11 p.m. and they are saying it will go on till 19th, let's say 2 a.m. And I can set the Datadog integration that I have here to ensure that I'm turning this off because I know there is a downtime. I don't want to notify my on call responders, and I will just turn off this integration. What this will ensure is in my upcoming maintenance windows, I'll be able to see that this integration will be off during this timeline and I'm not generating alerts unnecessarily. So this is also a way for admins to ensure that you are reducing the noise and you're only sending alerts that are meaningful to your on-call responders. Now, this was everything to do with your integrations and your policies or custom rules that help you update the alerts or even structure when to receive an alert. The next step that we will cover that is critical is role creation and role customization. We have certain custom roles available because not everyone in the organization wants access to editing, updating, deleting alerts, or even viewing on call schedules. For example, you have your leadership, and for your leadership, you only want them to see all alerts, you want them to access reports, and you want them to see all on call schedules. You don't want them to take any actions on the alert. What you can do is already set up one of the custom roles. I have disabled or removed any alert permissions and only given access of reporting alerts and schedules. Once you have done this, you can go to the role assignment tab. You'll be able to see all your users here. What you can do is you can give them the leadership view only as a custom user role. That means that this persona will only be able to access the reports, see all alerts, and see all on call schedules. So you're able to easily access and give custom roles to anyone from JSM in itself. Once you have done this role assignment, many customers come with a request that, okay, I have assigned this person a custom role, but I also want to impose certain ways they receive the alert notifications. Right now, each on call engineer has a way to customize their alert notifications from notification setting and alerts. And I will get into details about this in the second half of the demo, focusing on this persona. But for now, you are someone who wants to manage creation of your notifications for your responders. That means that any person joining new to your organization, you don't want them to spend too much time setting up their notifications. What you would do is you would come here, you can say on call responder notifications. You can either assign this to admins, you can either assign this to non-admins, or you can either assign this to custom roles. For example, all your users are your on-call responders and you're assigning this role-based notification for your users. You can generate targeted emails for your uh, persona that you've selected here, which are your custom roles. You can even send them emails that tells them that I or this admin has set up these configurations that always apply to you. Once you do that, um, I think there was something wrong. Let me just go back. Just give me a second. Yeah, once you do that, you'll be able to set up their alert notifications. That means that these notifications will always be imposed on them at all times, and they don't have to do any configuration on their own. What it will do is, for me, if I'm an on call user, I will have a notification that reflects that immediately when a new alert comes in, notify me via my primary mobile contact method, notify me 1 minute later after SMS, and notify me in 2 minutes via voice. So you are able to set all of these for your individual person so that they don't have to manually go and configure it themselves. So you're making the whole process of alert notification very easy for your end users. I'll now move on to the next chapter, which is setting up your chat and video tools. To enable receiving incident or alert notifications, the first step admins have to do is connect this to a workspace or your central tenant in case of Microsoft Teams. For Slack, I've already connected this to a workspace. The idea behind connecting to a workspace is only when you connect it to a workspace will your team admins or your on-call responders or your major incident managers be able to send updates to a channel or a thread on Slack. So the first step for admins would be to come up here and connect a new workspace. It's a fairly simple and easy step that is integrated with each of your chat tools. You can select any of the workspaces that you have or add a fresh workspace and configure the connection. I've already done the connection here to ensure that we are saving up some back and forth time in switching over. You have the options to connect to Slack, MS Teams, and Zoom that work for your alert management as well as your incident management. With that, we also have the capability now to connect your Jira work items to alerts. If you're an organization that uses Jira software or uses even JSM for your service desk or any other use cases, and you're heavily working in collaboration with updates you make to the work items and reflecting those on alerts, you can use syncs. Syncs work both on the same site as well as on a different site. Right now, I have connected an integration to a different site. You can use the steps and use the webhook integration on a separate site to do this configuration. Essentially, what syncs do is you have two configurations here. One is for creating and processing alerts. For example, you are taking any action on your work items. You're adding comments, you're adding labels, and the status is to do. When all of these conditions are met, a following alert will get created based on different components that sit in your work item that can be drag and dropped. This ensures a seamless sync between the work items and the alerts that get created. This is not just a one directional sync, it's a bi-directional sync. You are also able to take actions against the alerts. And here, what that means is while you're creating and updating work items, when an alert is act, you're able to create a new work item, you're able to add a work item, and you're able to resolve a work item. This ensures that for anyone who uses alerts and incidents very seamlessly, when your incidents are closed, you can resolve the when your alert is closed, you can resolve the corresponding incident. So it's a seamless bi-directional sync that works. With that, I will now move on to team level configurations. And before moving on, we have a few quiz updates that we want to share with all of you. So let me just present that. Everything that I demoed is focused on your site level configurations, and the same apply to a team level configuration. I'm just going to open the first quiz. If you can take out your mobile phone, scan the QR code. This poll is active. We would love to get your updates on this. We'll maybe give it a minute or two.
I see that more and more people are joining to the poll, so we can wait 1 minute.
I think we can give it like 2 minutes. I'm not able to see a lot of people what is happening. So I'll just
Okay.
rely on this metric here.
Okay. In the meantime, I can say that we have got some questions in our Q&A section. So in the Q&A part, I'm pretty sure that we will have at least 3 questions. I guess that more after the second part, so it's good.
Yeah. I think, Kate, what we can do is after the quiz, we can take questions so that people don't
Okay.
lose context and I can refer to the demo uh, um, uh, views that I've shown to answer their questions.
Okay, good idea. So we'll do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, we have like a minute more, and then I'll move on to just see the answers and just show a bit of more insights on on-call schedules. Okay, I will now just see how many people got it right and how many people got it wrong. So I see majority of the people got it right. That the primary purpose of configuring routing rules is to ensure that we are controlling who receives the alert. Now, with that, I will still keep the poll active in case anyone wants to respond. But now I'll deep dive for those of you who don't know. I want to just deep dive into some of the details for routing rules so we're able to understand the key construct a little better. Essentially, now that your team is enabled, you can go to operations for the team. The main key part that decides who to notify is this section, which is your on-call page. Now, the on-call page has three key components. The first component is routing rules, the second component is escalation policy, and the third component is schedules. This page works in a top-down manner. What that means is whenever demo team CSC is added as a responder, the first thing that we do is we come to routing rules and we check the routing rules. We see the first routing rule which says that if the priority equals P1 or the alert tag contains critical, then route the alert to critical escalation. That means if my alert has met any of these criteria, I will come to this escalation. Now, what does this escalation say? This escalation says that when the alert comes, if it is not acknowledged in 0 minutes or immediately, then ping the on call user in the schedule. That means whoever is on call at that time will be notified to come and respond to the alert. If the alert still stays unacknowledged for the next 2 minutes, then notify the admins of this team so that we're looping in more people because the alert has not been acknowledged. And lastly, if the alert is not acknowledged for 5 minutes, then here I've taken the example of creating a leadership or a parent team that looks at your ITSM reporting an incident and are like your MIMS. You can also follow a similar pattern where your escalation follows a matrix in such a way that first you let the on call responders take the action, then you maybe ping the admins, and lastly you have an escalation matrix and you loop in those people to ensure that someone is responding to the alert. So this is the manner in which your routing rules, escalations, and schedules work. Even in schedules, you'll see that you're able to add members in the schedule and you're able to create multiple rotations. As and when you're defining the rotations, you have multiple levels of filters given to you. You can define the shift durations. We recommend people to create shift durations all throughout the week. If you want, you can have two different rotations. One is for Monday to Friday, and you can keep separate rotations for a custom date for your weekends in case your organization follows different on call responders over the weekend. You also have the flexibility to define shift frequencies in a custom manner, and you can define a start and end time. So, this is how you're able to seamlessly create schedules for your teams. Within this, you're also able to add overrides. Let's say someone has called in sick, someone is taking a leave. You're able to manage all of these from a single scheduling space, which is very easy for your on call engineers to manage and ensure that your alerts don't go unresponded. So you're able to set up the routing rules based on certain alert conditions, and you're able to tag them either to escalations or to schedules. Even in escalation policies, you can define multiple types of escalations depending on the type of conditions you want. Here, the best practice is you have different escalations for your critical alerts, for alerts that don't need escalations to your managers, or for a generic escalation policy that only pings your on call alerts. You are able to flexibly modify the timing and the alert status. You can play around with both not acknowledged and not closed, and you can play around with the timing and the different modes of looping in the right set of people. You can notify members, you can notify responder teams, you can notify a previous member, you can notify admins, you can notify all members of the team. So you have all this flexibility given to you. So this was the second pillar of our demo, which we spoke about, which was your the last pillar of the demo that we spoke about, which was your on-call configurations. This brings me to an end of the team admin configurations, and I will open the forum for any questions.
Okay, so we have got some of them. So let's start from Gloria. For our ops manager, can he see work items and those escalated to them?
So what you can do is, if you have any work items in your For You page, you'll be able to see all the work items that are assigned to you. You can see particular filters for assigned. You can also see the items that you have worked on. If you are asking for alerts, when you go to alerts, in the responder, you can search for either your teams or you can search for yourself where you are the responder. So you'll be able to see alerts that are only for you. These are the two ways and filters in which you can check these, and you can also save this alert search and you can call it My Alerts, and you can save this. It will start reflecting privately only to you. So on a day-to-day basis, you don't have to come to these tabs. You can always come here. And the same is applicable for your work items.
Okay, thank you. I hope that it's enough reply for Gloria. If you have any more questions, put also in the section. Okay, another question from Dave. Will on-call schedules remain available in JSM operations, or will this feature move to Compass, obsdržení deprecation communication?
Okay, two separate things. JSM and Compass both offer alerting and on-call capabilities. Alerting and on-call capabilities will both continue to sit in JSM and Compass. Compass offers these capabilities not for incident management. So there are some key differences between JSM and Compass. Uh, JSM is for your advanced alert management, where things like incoming call routing, things like automation rules, things like incident management work in JSM. If you are an organization that only needs basic alerting and on call, you can go to Compass and you can use all these capabilities. If you're an organization that has both JSM and Compass, all the operations capabilities are platformized. That means if I have this demo CLC schedule and I have a Compass on the same site, the same schedule will reflect even in Compass, and the data is synced bidirectionally because these are platformized capabilities. So your on-call schedules are available both on JSM and Compass.
Okay, thank you. And the next question from Shital. Even after the global notification is set up, can the individual responder change their settings?
That's a very good question. Apologies, I could not show this to you. Individual responders cannot change their settings. So I have just toggled on the role-based notification and I'm an admin. I will see this in my personal notification that this admin has turned it on for you. I will not be able to edit any of the rules. And if the admin has set up things like SMS and voice for me, I will be notified via warning that uh, your rules want you to set up an SMS contact method and a voice contact method for them to work correctly. So the end users will not be able to edit once the role based notification is applied to them.
Okay, thank you. And another question from Gloria. Is there a known timeline when we will be able to connect to Google Chat for alerts?
That's a very good question. I think the team is currently exploring it, and I can take this back, Gloria, to my team and the PM responsible. What I would request is there's an open feature request ticket. So you can follow that, and maybe drop a note over there. That will really help us prioritize this. But what I know so far, it's part of our backlog. I'm not too sure on the timeline.
Okay, thank you. And last question for this part from Mauricio. For the sync feature, how to link the alert to the ticket created, or vice versa? How to link the ticket to the alert created?
It happens automatically. There is a configuration here that will say that update the work items against alert created by the sync. Anytime you create an alert from the sync, it by default links it, and let me show it to you. So this was, one second, let me see if I have a synced alert. Just give me a second. I can take this example maybe. It's very similar to how responders work. Just a minute. Let's do it live. Okay, so I had initially tested this out and I probably would have deleted the alert to ensure we have the right things in place. Let me just refresh this. And I think I need to make, yeah. So you will see that I had the sync available and I have the alert that gets created from the incident. What you will see is in the extra properties, you'll be able to see the incident type, you'll be able to see the issue key. So you can see that this is coming from this issue key that I just created here and is linked to the alert back. So this is how we show the information for work item that creates a incident.
It's also a comment from Mauricio about it that yes, that keep them synced, but the alert is not visible from the ticket on the linked alert section, just from the alert side, which can be kind of confusing.
Okay, I will take that as a feedback, and we can ensure that this is making a bi-directional data sync, just so linking also the alert to the incident.
Okay, so I think that it's all questions for now, so we can go to the second part.
Okay, just before we enter the second part, we have another quiz. I will just launch that. And folks, feel free to like drop in more questions. We want this to be an engaging learning session for all of us here. Okay, so we've done a review of alert policies. So this is just to see how many of you were listening. Feel free to scan the QR code. We will give it another 2 minutes just so that we're able to cover the rest of the items. Okay, maybe give it 30 odd more seconds.
Okay, so
Okay.
I think that we can go with
Oh, wow,
our
everyone got this correct. So
perfect
we
students.
yes, we're having the right set of information passed on. Now I'll move on to the next persona. First, we discuss the admin configuration. It's also very important to look at it from the lens of on-call responders who are day in, day out, busy in triaging alerts. Essentially, for an on-call responder, it is essential to ensure that one, the alerts have all the context that they need to triage and figure out the next steps. Secondly, they're able to get the right notifications at the right time so that they're looped in from the very beginning. And lastly, we don't want on-call responders to be delayed or be looped in very late in their in the alert lifecycle. With this, we're going to be focusing on three pillars. The first is notification setup, how on-call responders can better set their notifications. Then we will be looking at alert triaging, how on-call responders can use automation, can use alert grouping to take and triage the alerts and figure out who they want to loop in. And lastly, what are the key activities they should be doing as part of the alert resolution? Okay, I'm just gonna quickly demo. I will first also remove the role-based notification. I can show it to you from the lens of an uh, on-call engineer. So, for every on-call engineer, the central place to manage alert notifications is from settings and notification settings. They can go to alerts directly, and there the section is divided into four parts. The first part is contact methods, then is notification rules, then is the do not disturb settings, and lastly, forwarding rules. There are four types of contact methods we support: emails, SMSs, voice, and mobile push. You're able to set two types of notifications each for them. The idea is always to keep the first configuration as your primary mode of usage. So, whichever is, let's say, you're using a corporate number and that is your single source of truth, we would recommend you to set up your SMSs and voice call numbers on that. We support mobile push notifications via the Jira mobile app. I won't be able to show the screens here. So, what I've done is I've added them in a slideshow just so that we're able to see them. When you log into the Jira mobile app, in your settings, you will be able to see manage notifications. These are not only for your work items, but now we've also enabled them for alerting and on call. You'll be able to see the same configurations there as well, your contact methods, your mobile push notifications. In case you're not receiving notifications, we've launched troubleshooting option for you. So you don't have to reach out to your admins or read the support documents or reach out to the support team. You can just troubleshoot and it will highlight that, okay, you missed an alert because your mobile push notification is switched off here. So all of these are enabled very seamlessly in the Jira mobile app that you can leverage to monitor your alerts. If you're someone who doesn't want to use your Jira mobile app for your work items, you can just switch off all these notifications. That means your Jira mobile will solely cater to your alerting and on-call needs. With that, I will switch to the notification rules. We offer 8 types of notification rules. You can set up multiple notification rules, and you're also able to set them up based on alert fields. We strongly recommend that if you are working on P1 or critical items, you configure rules specifically for that. So you can say when alerts have a priority P1, you can add notification methods that you would prefer to be notified. Generally, for P1 alerts, people tend to use mobile push and SMSs because SMSs work even without internet. So be sure that you are using these in the right manner to not have too much noise. So you can use mobile push notifications. And in case you're someone who's active on email or who's not active on email, you can set up the second follow up in 2 minutes to ensure that you're not missing critical alerts. And you can call this P1 alert rule. So you can add your rules based on that. You can shift the priority order because rules run from a top down manner. As and when the alert comes in with you as the responder, it will first check the top rule and then move on to the second rule. So we always recommend you set up the rules in a top down manner and give focus to the alerts that are priority for you, that you work on actively, so that you're notified correctly in the right time. The same follows for different types of notifications as well. And use only the methods that are frequently used by you. Don't bombard yourself with notifications from every different format. Next, I will come to the do not disturb section. For example, you're working on a major incident and you don't want any alerts coming to you. What you can do is you can set up quiet hours to ensure that you don't receive any notification, to avoid your focus being diverted elsewhere. You can also use mute notifications. What that would do is you would still be getting the alerts, you just won't be getting the notifications, but the alerts would be assigned to you. Later at a date, if you want to view those alerts or see what is happening, you can still be able to refer to that. So these are the two purposes of using the do not disturb settings. The next that we have is forwarding rules. In case you're someone who is going on a leave or a planned vacation, you have an on call schedule currently applicable for you. You can set up forwarding rules to your colleague. What this would essentially do is all the alerts would get forwarded to the person you're forwarding the rule to. Whoever you're forwarding the rule to will also receive an alert. So I had already set this up, and I am forwarding the alert to one of my colleagues. This is the alert that gets generated just so that she's also aware this is happening. The second thing that happens with forwarding rules is anywhere where I am the on call responder in a schedule, like here on Sunday 19th, I was the responder. I have been replaced by my colleague who I forwarded it as an override. So this will automatically take care of any overrides, and you don't have to message your team admin saying, okay, I'm going on leave, please add this colleague as the person to who you should override and send the alerts to. So forwarding rules does that by default, and it's a best practice. If you're going on leave, you set them up so that the right people are notified when an alert comes in on your behalf. This was everything to do with alerts. Now I will come to the automation rules. At a team level, you are able to set automation rules. So I'll just go to the team configuration. Now, your admin must have set up certain automation rules. You have the flexibility to plug and play from multiple templates. For example, you know that when an alert is created, you want to rerun a script or you want to optimize something on your on-premise systems. You can easily configure these, and you can even set up manual automation rules. What that means is when your team admin has set up this manual automation rule, they will start reflecting in alert actions. Let me give you an example of a rule that I've already set up, which is an automated rule and does not require a manual trigger. What this rule says is that when an alert is created, then till the time I have added a delay event that says if the alert is not acknowledged in 5 minutes, and if the alert is P1 and is still open, then immediately create an incident, because this is a P1 alert that remained unacknowledged for 5 minutes. I don't want to wait for anyone to come in after 5 minutes, because it will be too late for me to figure out what has happened, and it might be a big incident that is causing an impact. So here I'm leveraging automation to automatically do this without any manual intervention. If it is not a P1 alert and is not open, then I am automatically changing the alert to acknowledge to ensure that no one is coming to the alert 5 minutes later to act it or take any action. I'm doing it on their behalf because either it's a low priority alert and I don't want to notify anyone unnecessarily. So you can leverage these automation rules. These are set up either by your team admins or by your product admins. So there are two ways to set them up. And once you have set the automation rules, you can check the actions here. So if there is an automation rule to rerun a script, that has to be manually triggered, it will be available here for the on-call responder to come and take that action. So this is the second part of the configuration, which was alert remediation. Now I'll come to the last leg on how best on-call engineers can respond to alerts. We have introduced alert groups, which would automatically group similar alerts, making it easy for on-call engineers to figure out the root cause. As you can see, there's an AI view, and you'll be able to see the grouped alerts showing and the group count. Essentially, what this means is all the alerts which are similar have been grouped together. So you can see that there is a duration in which these similar alerts came in that have been grouped. On-call responders will now be easily able to act on alerts looking at the group. They can take certain actions of creating an incident, and this is the field that we will cover in our next leg. From here, on-call responders can seamlessly create an incident where all the fields are auto-populated looking at the alert group detail. You're also getting a priority suggested, and you can seamlessly create an incident. I'm leaving the group with this thought here that in our next chapter that we will talk about resolving incidents, we will pick up right from here where we are creating an incident, because the on-call responder has now seen that this alert has been grouped. What is the status? It is also seeing details in terms of the description that is being auto-generated and other linked incidents if there were, and given some actions of what they can do. This completes us with the three pillars that we spoke about: the notification setup, the alert triaging, and the alert resolution, looking at the alert grouping, the information that is available for on call responders, ensuring that they're taking the right actions. I will now quickly open up the Slido for a quick quiz before we take the Q&A. So let me just present this. I think we'll give it just 30 seconds because we're almost on time. So you can quickly scan the QR code and respond to this question. Okay, I will stop this, and I knew majority of you would get this right. With that, I will just share the next event, because we left this at a very interesting point, that when the alert gets created and you're now identifying it as a potential incident, how is JSM helping you resolve using Atlassian intelligence to ensure that you're responding to incidents and closing them faster? So please scan this QR code, register for the event on 30th July. With that, I will first, before opening up for Q&A, request you to quickly give us feedback for the session so that we can delve into the Q&A right after this.
Yes, so I think that everyone can scan a QR code to leave feedback, and in the meantime, we can answer on questions because we have got some of them.
Yes.
So, first question from Robert: what does it mean to set up automation for a team? Will the rule only trigger if the alert affects the team? Will the rule only be viewable by the team?
When you set up automation for the team, the automation action in the dropdown will only be viewed for alerts that are created from that team's integration. So if you have a team integration connected to Datadog, any alerts coming from that team integration will have the capability to access those automation rules. So for example, your company must be having multiple domains. Let's take an example of Airbnb, where Airbnb might be having a payments team. Now, the payment team would have certain automation remediations in place for use cases that meet their own needs. So if they refer to AWS server and they want to rerun this server, they would create an automation rule at a team level so that only alerts that come in from this AWS server for their team, they can run this automation action. So that is the purpose of having automation at a team level versus automation at a global level. If you set automation rules at a site level, they will be available in all the alerts. But if you have automation at a team level, they will only be available for alerts which are created from a team integration.
Okay, thank you. And another question from Shital. Is there a way to notify stakeholders, stakeholder role, like SMS rather than email?
That's a very good question, Sheetal. We will cover all of this for incident management in the next session, but just to give you your answer, today stakeholders are only supported via email. But exciting news for you, we are working on improving those configurations where you will also be able to leverage other modes of communication, not just SMS, but even chat tools in case you're partnering with third party vendors over chat.
Okay, thank you. So I think that we don't have more questions. So I put link also on the chat to next webinar. So please sign up. Also, I share an article which we have on community in which we have got all community-led classes in this JSM summer expedition. So please watch it, and we will add more sessions there. And also, I share one more thing, more personal, because I am also leading another webinar next week about some different area, but maybe you would like to share it with your colleagues about organizing tests in Jira. So I hope that maybe it can be interesting for you. As I don't see more questions, I think that we can finish our session for today. Of course, during the next session, if you have any questions also about this part, it will be great if you put these questions during this time. As I said, this session will be published today on my YouTube channel. You will also receive email with the video, also with link to registration for next event. And I hope that you will find it a very insightful session for you. Also, I see one more. Yes, yes, it was message from Deeksha that you can put feedback. Also, it's really important to us because we would like to prepare something which is really customized for your needs. So any words, any some ideas for next sessions will be really appreciated. So for today, I would like to say thank you. Thank you, Deeksha, for amazing session, live demo. And I hope that we'll see all of you during the next session. So please register. It's July 30. So we have got 2 weeks for next session. Okay, so thank you very much, all of you, and see you next session.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.